The thing we're going to talk about today is this: the three types of fitness clients that you can get for your personal training or boot camp business. And really it's kind of a lie, because they're not clients just yet. Before people become a client, what are they? They are a prospect, aren't they? And so really I want to talk to you about the three type of prospects you have. And if you're currently having lead generation problems, marketing problems, and think you're getting poorly qualified leads into your fitness business, odds are you don't have a marketing or lead generation problem. You have this problem that I'm going to go through right now, and I'm going to give you the solution. The three type of prospects that you can get for your fitness business. The first 1/3, believe it or not, are people who will buy no matter what. The second 1/3 are people who need to be sold, right? Look at it that way. They need to be sold on your service. They're not just there ready to buy. They need to be sold on why you're the best personal trainer or, strength coach or fitness boot camp in the community. And the last 1/3 are people who are reluctant. They're undecided and they believe they have other options. So let's talk about that. The first 1/3, for example, these are the easiest people to get on board as clients because, well, you're just an order taker. When I had my personal training gyms, they'd walk into my gym and they would say, well, how much is personal training, right? Or I want to sign up for a 2-time-a-week personal training program. That was pretty easy. I mean, I'm just taking their order. They would say, how much is personal training? I'd say, we're $45 for 30-minute sessions. And they'd say, well, I want to sign up for 2 or 3 times a week, right? That's a laydown. That's the first 1/3 of prospects you get. Now, the second 1/3, see, these people require selling. They require selling because they come with some hesitation. Now, they know they want a personal trainer. They want to work with an expert. They've probably tried the gym on their own. Hell, they might have even had a trainer at some point. But the reality is, they're going to come to you looking to be sold. And you're going to know this because you're going to get objections like, I need to go talk to my spouse, or I don't have enough time, I need to go look at my schedule, or it costs too much, right? It costs too much. Now, for this second 1/3 of the group, right, what you really need is a fitness sales system that overcomes the time, money, and spouse objection, right? It positions your service as the best service available in town for personal training or boot camp or group training, whatever it is that you're offering. And that's important too, right? And so if you don't have a selling system, then you don't know how to identify your prospects' wants, position the benefits, build the urgency, get them committed, and get the close, right? Close the deal. And so you can simply go to closeclients.com and get my sales system. It's under $100, and immediately you'll start making more money with it. But just understand that if you're getting objections, odds are you're not doing a good job selling, and you need a sales system, because that middle 1/3 of the group, they just need to be sold. And if you're not selling them, they're going to walk away and go to a different solution, right? The last 1/3 of the prospects, these are the reluctant ones, right? These are people who need in-doc. Right? Now, you're probably wondering, indoctrination? Yeah, absolutely, indoctrination. But INDOC, actually, I kind of made it into an acronym for you. What this last 1/3 of the group needs is an INDOC process. Here's why. They come to you reluctant. They come to you and they look at you as a suspect. They come to you undecided because they believe that they can diet to lose weight, right? They can take pills, potions, and powders to get in shape and to drop the weight. So they think they have way more options than just you working with a personal trainer. That's why they're reluctant, they're suspect of you, and they're in a position of being highly undecided in what it is that they're offering. And so it's your job to make sure that you can indoctrinate them. Because again, they think lap band is an option, they think they can go to Weight Watchers and Jenny Craig and all this stuff. And your job is to narrow their focus, isolate them, and say, look, you have to work with a certified fitness expert, and that's you. So the way you do this is through a slower process, right? You're not just gonna go and try and convince or talk sense into them, right? But what you are gonna do is you're gonna indoctrinate them. And that means you need to give them, one, information, right? So indoc means, look at it this way, the I stands for information. The N stands for you need to nurture them over time, right? The D stands for demonstration. You need to demonstrate proof that you're a badass trainer at what you do. You need to demonstrate that you have delivered results. You need to demonstrate that your program is head and shoulders above all other programs out there, right? Then you can make them an offer, which we're going to talk about in just a second. And of course, once you've made the offer, you can now close them and take them from a prospect into a paying client. So why do we need to indoctrinate them? Why? Well, that last 1/3, they need to be put into a process of indoctrination. And only then will they start getting rid of all the other options in their brain, like the lap band, like the exercise gadget, pills, potions, and powders, and all that stuff. And only then will they see you as the only expert that they should work with. And that's why indoctrination needs to happen. But what you don't know is that you can actually automate this process so you're not just going nuts trying to take this 1/3 of the people and educate them and indoctrinate them and show them proof and make them offers. Does that make sense? So if I were to tell you, how would you like it if I could snap my fingers and you can make 33% more income in the next 12 months? You'd love that, right? Well, that's because you'd be able to close that second or that third 1/3 of the group into paying clients. And that's what you want. And so that's what I'm going to teach you here today. So let's get started. How do we indoctrinate prospects and turn them into fans so that they become paying clients, right? Step 1, you got to get them on your email list. That's it. There's no two ways around it. Now, you might be part of that last 1/3 of the group who are kind of unsure and reluctant about working with a business coach like me, or maybe you've heard of me but you don't know, and are the testimonials that he's put out there, are they real, are they legit, right? Listen, the fact that I've got you on my email list and the fact that you're a fan of my fan page gives me the opportunity to come with a giving hand, deliver value first, give you some information that's going to make you money, get you more clients, help you win your freedom, and then I've won the opportunity to make you an offer, right? So it's important for you to take those people in your community who are potential prospects, because remember the prospects break down into those 3 categories, and get them onto your email list and onto your fan page. Those are the 2 best places that you're going to keep them on your circle of influence. First of all, the question I get most is, how do I get people onto my email list? Well, you already have your clients' emails, right? So you're going to add them to an email list. You probably already have past clients' emails. You're going to add them to an email list. You probably have sales agreements and PARQs, right? And hopefully your PARQs have a spot on it where you were collecting email addresses. You're going to add that to an email list. So already automatically you probably have 50 to 200 people you can add to an email list, but you're not going to add them on like Gmail or Hotmail or Yahoo, right? You're going to use a system, a platform like fitpronewsletter.com, right? Constant Contact or something like that that can send out emails in a mass format. You can see open rates and click-through rates and all that good stuff. Otherwise, you're going to get flagged as a spammer and your emails are never going to get delivered. But many trainers will ask me, well, then how do I build an email list? Why would people give me their email address from the community? Simple. You're going to make them offers. You're going to offer them something in exchange for an email address, right? So it might be a free report on fat-burning foods, right? And they give you their email address and they download the free digital report. Or it might be 42 delicious fat-burning recipes, right? That they can give you their email address, download it. It might be the 7 metabolism boosting exercises, right? And email address, and they download it. You get the email address, or add it to your email list. They get the digital product that not only educates them, but positions you as an expert, right? And so you can put this on your website. You can make an opt-in like this, or offer an opt-in like this to your Facebook fans and to your Facebook friends. And you're going to suck out people from Facebook and social media, from your community, from your website, onto your email list, where you can then begin that indoctrination process. I hope this is making more sense to you, right? I mean, here's another one that I took from one of my clients' websites. Discover the big myth about popular diets and find out what really works. Simple as that. They enter their name, email address, and ta-da, they end up on your email list and they get this free report. How cool is that? Here's another one. Sign up for the Get Fit newsletter. You should have some place on your website that people can sign up for your newsletter. Now, your newsletter can't be disguised as a pitch wrapped in some trivial content. Like, it's got to be a really cool newsletter, and I'll show you a couple examples, like graphically intense, good articles, healthy recipes, all that stuff, right? And you're probably thinking, whoa, how do I write all that stuff, every week or a couple times a week. I'll show you how you can automate that where you never have to type a single thing on the keyboard, right? In just a minute. But check this out. You can get opt-ins on your website all day long. All day long. Email address, now they're on your newsletter. They're getting motivational tips, things about boosting their metabolism and how to get in shape and how to eat right. And they're on your email list and they get to know, like, and trust you. So once they're on your email list, you're gonna send them weekly e-newsletters, healthy recipes, and of course, client case studies, right? Remember, we wanna indoctrinate. We wanna give them information. The N is to nurture, right, over time. So information over time. We're going to demonstrate proof. So an e-newsletter, healthy recipes, client case studies. If you have a client that lost 20, 25, 30 pounds in the last, let's say, 90 days, you should write a whole email about that. You should write an email about it. Hey, meet Susan. She lost 25 pounds in the last 90 days by working with me here at my group training program. And she works down the street at so-and-so supermarket or whatever it is that she does, or she's a school teacher down the road. So you're not only giving a client props, and they're going to love that, but you're also sharing with the rest of the community, the people who are interested in getting fit and losing fat and getting healthy on your email list, a peek into someone else's life. So you can say how awesome you are all day long, but when you show them an actual client and you tell their story, that is demonstration of proof that cannot be matched, right? So that's kind of stuff that starts building this trust factor. And in fact, I just went into Fit Pro Newsletter, and full disclosure, Fit Pro Newsletter is my platform that I built. Over 4,000 personal trainers worldwide use it to automate their email marketing and to post to Facebook automatically. Well, I went into Fit Pro Newsletter, and I forget whose contact list this is, but look at this. They have over 7,000 people from their community on their email list. Because the reality is, if you have 50,000 people in your community, they're not all prospects. Some of them are children. They don't need you, right? Some of them are already in great shape. They don't want you. But I bet there's somewhere between 3,000 and 10,000 people in your community who could use your services. And isn't it your job to get them on your email list? So this particular trainer has over 7,000 people from their community who are interested in fitness and fat loss and working with a personal trainer on his email list. And you can see that in the month of August, they added 86 new people to their email list. We can see that 32% of their emails get opened, right? And we see that 14% of their emails that have a link in it get clicked to a website, to an offer, or whatever. This is a proper email marketing platform. And you can see the dates down here. Monday morning, automatically, their e-newsletter goes out to everybody on their email list without them ever lifting a finger. Monday at 8:15 or 8:30 in the morning, it gets posted to their Facebook fan page, right? That same newsletter that got delivered to everyone on the email list gets posted to your fan page. How cool is that? So now all your fans are seeing this, they're clicking the link backwards, and of course gives them the opportunity to get on your email list. So you suck out prospects from social media, which is what you want. And it's all on autopilot. But this is what a proper dashboard would look like for a personal trainer who has a successful multiple six-figure, seven-figure generating business. I want to show this to you because this is something that you can have. And imagine that over time, if you can get 7, 8, 9, 10,000 people on your email list, it's like having clients on demand every time you send out an offer, right? So if you can get every prospect in your area on your email list, what does that mean? Well, you're probably not going to spend any more money for marketing, right? Imagine that. I live in Chino Hills. There's 76,000 people in Chino Hills. And the reality is that if I got, let's say there's 10,000 people who are truly interested in working with a personal trainer at some point. Well, if I can get all 10,000 people on my email list over a couple of years, I never have to spend more marketing dollars because now I've got these 10,000 people as a captive audience. Now I can just educate, indoctrinate, send information, healthy recipes, and periodically send offers and invitations to come try out my program. So my marketing costs go way down the more I can build my email list. And that's what I really want to drive home to you today. I'm going to show you how you're going to automate that whole process, right? Because the goal of email marketing really is to build your know, like, and trust factor, your expert and authority factor, right? I mean, that's really what you want to do. And when you're an expert, you're an authority, people know, like, and trust you. And when they know, like, and trust you, well, that's really when they're going to buy from you. That's what's most important here. And so that last 1/3 of the audience, even that middle 1/3, that middle 1/3 becomes a lot easier to close when they come to you pre-indoctrinated, right? As Joe Polish likes to call it, he calls them pre-sorted, pre-qualified, pre-screened. And you do that through content marketing. And the best content is email because it ends up directly in their inbox. And of course, if they're on your fan page, then they're going to see that same post on your Facebook wall as well. And the more you can indoctrinate them, the easier the selling process becomes and the bigger the training package they buy. And for that last 1/3 who are reluctant and they're suspect and they just don't trust you yet, you want to build that trust and likability factor first. You want to isolate them into thinking that you are the only solution. Well, don't you want to automate the whole process and have it done via email so that the only obvious solution is you? That's the only time I want to see a prospect across from me is when they already know, like, and trust me, see me as an expert and an authority, and know that I am the only solution for fitness and fat loss. Of course, you can't just sell people a year of training right off the bat once people know, like, and trust you, right? And this is when you have to make a low barrier offer, like the 14-day fat furnace that I created, the 21-day rapid fat loss program, the 28-day flat belly program, or a 6-week transformation challenge. Now, I've pre-written all these emails and they're ready for you to cut and paste and send out to your prospect list, and they're already in FitPro newsletter. So if you have FitPro newsletter, you have these low barrier offers that you can cut, paste, and send out, right? But what does a low barrier offer do? A low barrier offer is a shorter term trial program. Just because someone knows, likes, and trusts you and sees you as the expert in your community does not necessarily mean they're going to commit to a 6-month or a 12-month training program. Not yet. That's a pretty big commitment, both financially and time-wise. But they are willing to commit to a 21-day, a 14-day, a 28-day, a 6-week shorter program for a smaller dollar amount, somewhere between $47 and a couple $100, right? Now you have the opportunity to bring them in on a trial program, right? Low barrier offers are just that. They're low-priced, short-duration trial programs designed to get people to convert from prospects into paying clients, because now they're going to experience your workouts. So you see what's happening here? We're taking them from the internet and we're moving them onto your email list. On the email list, we get the indoctrination process going to get the know, like, and trust factor, right? Then we make them an offer for a low barrier offer, of course, a program where they come in and they try you out. So they go from the internet to your email list to your facility to train with you. And then this is where you're going to use, again, a selling process of some sort. Closed clients comes to mind because I made it and it's awesome and it works, right? But you're going to use something like that to convert them into a paying client. It's a no pressure sales system. It's completely educational, and it makes you the assistant buyer instead of the pushy salesperson. Now that you know what a low barrier offer is, what do we do next? Well, you have to kind of envision the whole funnel in your head. That's what I like to do. I envision the whole funnel. I've got to see if people in my community, right? See if people in my community, they're just reluctant suspects. That's all they are. They're reluctant suspects. My job is to figure out who these people might be and who want to work with me and get them into an indoctrination funnel. Get them on my email list and start building the know, like, and trust factor by using content marketing, right? And of course, over time, they become qualified leads because they know, like, and trust me. And that time, by the way, is usually about 30 days, right? FitPro newsletter will send out 2 content pieces for you every week. A full-on content-rich newsletter via email, and of course, that's on Mondays, and on Thursdays, it's a healthy recipe that gets emailed to them, right? The what's for dinner email. I mean, how cool is that? Here's a healthy, high-protein, high-fiber dinner coming from you, right? By the way, the whole thing looks like it's coming from you, not us. And what's really cool about that is it takes about 30 days for that indoctrination process to kick in, and now they go, holy crap, this person really knows everything about fitness and fat loss. I probably shouldn't use pills, potions, and powders. I shouldn't buy the exercise gadget off the television infomercials. I ought to work with this guy. Now what you want to do is make them a low barrier offer, right? Which is the second to the last thing here. And of course, once you make them a low barrier offer, they're training with you for a trial period. You have the opportunity to convert them into a long-term paying client using the closed client system. Is this making sense to you? This is what I want to drive home. You don't have to go out there and put lead boxes anymore. You don't have to go and do lunch and learns if you don't want to. If there is only one way for you to get leads and to close everybody who comes and sits in front of you or has interest about fitness and fat loss, it is to connect the Facebook and the email marketing component together and automate it through a platform like FitPro Newsletter, right? And when you do, you start making a lot of money and helping a lot of people, right? So how do you build an email list and automate this entire indoctrination process, right? I get that all the time. Well, first of all, listen, just go to Fit Pro Newsletter, pay a whopping $1, and use it for 30 days. If in 30 days you're not getting more prospects and more clients into your fitness business, cancel. Simple as that. But you're going to ask, right? Well, what about those free reports? I don't have time to write a free report. I don't have time to write a free ebook. You don't have to. We've written 10 of them for you. These are all 10 different opt-ins that you could use on your website, on Facebook, on Instagram, right? If you like ClickFunnels, you can make an actual ClickFunnels page and drive traffic to a ClickFunnels page for any one of these free reports. In addition to these free reports, we've got a whole bunch of other offers in there to sign up for the newsletter, to 3 free workouts, 2 free weeks, right? Anything and everything. We've built it into Fit Pro Newsletter so that you can get that email address and start the in-doc process. But in addition to that, once a client is on board or a prospect is on board with your newsletter, this is what they get. 3 different newsletters, right? From 3 different gyms. So you're going to customize it. Takes about 5 minutes to customize it. If not, you call our support team and we're going to customize it for you. Easy enough. And then you put your picture up there. There's a call to action. There's room for before and after pictures of clients. And every week, a content-rich newsletter goes out to your prospects, to your clients. You decide who it goes out to, and what's really cool about it is you don't have to lift a finger, and it looks like it's coming from you. And then later on that week, a healthy recipe goes out to them, right? And every single healthy recipe and newsletter, by the way, you can completely edit if you want, or you can leave as is. Simple as that, and it's got your contact information on there and a call to action for people to reply back. That's why this stuff works, right? Listen, if you could just write in a 1-month period, if you can write 2 case studies from clients who have gotten great results, and then let Fit Pro Newsletter do its thing for you, you'll easily add an additional 10 to 15 new clients to your business. That's how realistic this is, right? And so I want to go through and show you this whole automated list building process, right? So Fit Pro Newsletter is going to help you automatically send out 2 e-newsletters on your behalf. Pretty cool, right? It's going to automatically take that newsletter and post it to your Facebook page. Pretty cool, because now people who are not on your email list but are kind of hanging out on Facebook get to read your content-rich newsletter and then click a link where they can then get on your email list. And that's all automated, right? Articles, fitness tips, recipes, and e-newsletters that you can just cut, paste, and send out. So if you're thinking, man, I don't have any client case studies to send out, not yet, but I want to send out 3 pieces of content instead of just 2, great. Cut and paste one of our past issues and send it out. It's that simple. You don't have to sit there with a blank Word doc and try and get creative. Let me tell you, I've tried that in the past. It sucks. It's boring. You have this creative block and it just doesn't work, right? Automate the process of indoctrination so that you're closing the people who will buy, you're closing the people who need to be sold, and you're closing the people who are undecided and reluctant. That's what you want, right? So you're going to send out email broadcasts, reminders, offers, promotions. I mean, you can use Fit Pro Newsletter to send out a broadcast just to your clients, letting them know about a 5K that's coming up, or running one of our paid in full promotions that I've got in the Fit Pro Newsletter platform for you. I mean, how easy is that? Just you can say, hey, I want to segment this particular broadcast only to paying clients, or only to prospects, or only to clients or people who were clients and are no longer clients. Right? Easy enough. And you can start a whole reactivation campaign that we have to prospects. So if you've got someone who's a paying client right now and they quit, you just move their email address and you put them in the reactivation bucket or segment in Fit Pro Newsletter, and over the next 28 days, they're getting automated emails on your behalf that we've written professionally to reactivate them and get them back into your program. That's what you want. You want to automate the process. Gone are the days of trying to get on the phone with every single person and trying to get them back in. Automate the process and let them come to you and then get on the phone or get on the email or go face-to-face and close them, right? So Fit Pro Newsletter also comes with 6 different low barrier offers, right? Low barrier offers, campaigns that are pretty much cut and paste. I've written all these campaigns. You just cut and paste and send, and people call you and they email you and they say, hey, I want to sign up for that 14-day fat furnace or 21-day rapid fat loss program. And then now they're on the trial program where they can really feel the energy, see what a great family environment your gym or boot camp is, and then you have the opportunity to use closed clients to convert them into paying clients, right? That's it. It's fitpronewsletter.com. You can try it for $1 for a full 30 days. So let's review this. 3 types of clients. That 1/3, they're always going to buy no matter what. They've made the decision they want to work with a personal trainer. But if you're only closing that 1/3 of the people, you're probably broke. You're probably not making the kind of money you want with your personal training, group training, boot camp business, right? And then there's that second 1/3. These are people who need to be sold. And if you don't have a good selling process, you're going to deal with a lot of objections and you're going to get pretty frustrated. And those objections are time, money, spouse, they need to think about it, right? But if you have a good selling process like closed clients, then you're going to be able to convert these people who need to be sold into paying clients. And that final 1/3 of the people who typically would never buy, they will buy from you. They're reluctant and they're undecided right now, but they will buy from you, just not today. Today, they need to get on your email list and they need to get indoctrinated. You need to come to them with a giving hand, goodwill first, right? Educate, indoctrinate, give them information, nurture, demonstrate proof, make an offer, and then close them. So once they're on your email list, you're going to have this opportunity to position yourself as the expert, to position yourself as the authority, so that you are doing the sifting, sorting, screening process. You take someone who's reluctant and undecided and you make them into a very interested prospect, right? That's what we want. So then, if you're having a hard time converting prospects into paying clients, you may not have a sales problem, you may have an indoctrination problem, right? That 1/3 of the group, the final 1/3, who won't buy no matter what, what's the point of having them sit across from you right now to give you objections? That middle 1/3, they'll buy from you. But again, you need a sales process for it. All right, so the solution, close clients if you want to learn how to sell better, be the assistant buyer, educational-based selling, so that you never have to deal with an objection. Or you're going to get Fit Pro newsletter, you're going to try it for $1 for 30 days, and let the automatic email marketing indoctrination process kick in for you. And hopefully this gave you some insight into why you may have a hard time closing people and they give you a lot of objections. It's typically because they're either undecided or reluctant and need to be sold, but you can't sell them unless you indoctrinate them first, get them to know, like, and trust you.